Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I am the maker and shop owner of MamaBearSewShop. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a very special tutorial. This one is very special in that it's one that I haven't even created yet. So I thought it would be really fun to kind of share with you guys behind the scenes and a back look on how I create a pattern from my head to the paper to an object. And so I thought it would be really fun to share with you guys that process as well as picking out the fabric. I thought it would be fun to do something themed around the seasons, and so today I am going to create and make with you guys a little mini pumpkin baby. And so I was inspired by this fabric that I've had up in my closet for years, and I thought it would be perfect for as a pumpkin. And then, you know, just because of my line and stuff, I thought it would be cute to add a little head on top of it. So we're gonna create a little pumpkin baby, and with that I'm gonna try to create a couple details that are a little bit different than my typical line, as I want to keep that separate from the tutorials and different pattern ideas from you. I want to inflict some creativity from you guys, and that's what's also for me as well, is that it's always fun to create something different for my line or use different materials typically than what I use in for my assembly line, and that just kind of helps spark the creativity and just change it up a little bit. So I thought it would be really fun to add some different unique details to her, and I hope you're inspired to create your own kind of idea from her as well. And so down below I will have a link to the pattern for purchase, and then you can follow along for free on here as I will share with you guys how I created her from start to finish. I hope you guys stay tuned and will enjoy this make along. Okay, heading into my back room, this is where I keep all my supplies, all my materials. Someday I'll share with you guys a little studio tour. I actually really like it. Right now I finally have like a process and a place for everything that actually like works, and it's really functional. And I did a lot of DIY, dollar store finds, a lot more like cheaper options, and so I've always wanted to do like a studio tour, and so I think maybe that'll be next. It's a little messy right now, so today is not the day, but right now I'm going to grab some fabric up in my closet, and I'm kind of explaining the fabric choices that I'm going to be using for this tutorial. Getting into this box, I have a fabric just in particular that I've been eyeing and wanting to use. I have a lot of it and I have not used it yet. Okay, so I picked the wrong bucket, but I found it. So I have this with my velvety stretch fabrics. Usually these are fabrics that I use for my swaddle babies to do the head bows with. And yeah, I could do this for head bows, but it just, I have so much of it. I have yards and yards of this. So I bought this, and I believe it was on sale for like $1.99 or something crazy. So I bought a bunch of yards of it probably like 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't even know if I've used it yet. I don't even think I've cut into it. So I've had the idea to make pumpkin out of it. It's gold. It's kind of hard to, there we go. I think that gives a good color of it. It's really pretty, but it's stretchy and velvety and not really a material that I would use all the time. It kind of has like a little bit of see-through in between, and so yeah, I didn't even realize that. So I'm gonna have to do if I use this for the pumpkin, I'm gonna have to do fabric underneath it, just because stuffing, I'm really picky about when I make items that have like that's thin at all, where the stuffing is going to stick through, because the stuffing will stick through that. So I'm either probably going to have to do usually what I do is like a piece of muslin, like cheap muslin fabric underneath this. So I think I'm still going to try it. We're going to try it out. So here's the process. I have most of my materials that I'm going to go through afterwards, but right now I kind of want to draw it out and kind of see more so what materials I'm actually going to use, because I'm kind of indifferent about a few. So this is part where I grab some paper, I grab a pen, and I just start sketching. could do like a little bow, or I could do some pigtails and do a little bow. So if I do that, then I think I do want to use this for the hair. So usually I use wool blend felt for the hair. But if I'm gonna do pigtails and stuff, I could either do yarn, like a lot of times I'll sew on yarn, but I kind of like the idea of trying it with this. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the full version. I kind of like actually this size. Like I like this size. I'm gonna measure. It's about 5 inches. So I kind of like that size. I like the head to proportion. So the head's about 2 inches, the body's about 3. To get an idea, yeah, I think that's it's a little bigger than this, but it's still a good size. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is, a lot of times this is what I'll do. I'll end up tracing it. Okay, so. And once I get to this part, I like to fold it in half, just to make sure. And it's actually pretty symmetrical. So that's very surprising. I usually never do it that symmetrical. So that's pretty good. So that's exciting. Okay, so now we're done with paper. Okay, so just like my drawing, I'm gonna do materials. This is gonna be my face. So I have cotton for the face. Then I'm gonna do jersey knit for the hair. Then for the body, I'm gonna need some muslin underneath, mostly because this is a stretchy, so sewing it would be a lot different and it would come out a lot different shape and size if I didn't do that, as well as there's gaps in between. So I'm gonna use this for the body. The whole point is I want this round. So to create it round, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm actually gonna be having my sewing right here in the middle. So I'm gonna sew this here. My opening's gonna be here. I'm gonna sew around here. My opening's gonna be here. Then I'm gonna sew both of those closed separately, and then I'm gonna sew them together. So. No hiccups?
How about you scare me?
going to sew the head. I kind of really want to get a look like what the head is going to look like. So believe it or not, I really don't have the exact thread color as this. It's kind of like almost like a grayish brown. So this is the closest thing I have. So I am going to change out my thread. See, with this, you just kind of want to place on there. You don't want to pull it too tight, otherwise you'll create a face way bigger than you want. So I'm gonna pull this just a little. Yeah, I think that's perfect. We got our front face, the back face, and then you have the body. Oh, oops. Then I'll have the bottom part of the pumpkin, and so I am going to take the front and the back, and we're gonna smush them like so. Now usually I'd put a tag, but I don't know where I'm gonna put a tag. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is, I think I'm gonna have to put it on like the side. Yeah. So what I do is, and put that there. Making sure that my cotton pieces are good on both sides. Okay, so then now that I'm sewing up here, I'm going to start right here and go all the way around and then stop right there. It's going to be a length 2 straight stitch. So here we go. And back stitch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew one more time around, and then I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to test this out. fit. Okay, so the next step is to stuff. So I use polyester stuffing. I just get this from your local craft store, like Joann's. I grabbed the huge giant box because I go through a lot of it. Yep, I've used this stuff for a long time. I've switched between mold, but this is what I consistently use for my items now. So then we are going to stuff. So then now I'm going to sew this closed. So this is going to create more of a rounder look. I think I like the body. I think this is a good size. So now we're gonna do the head. And the thing with the head is, remember, we're doing braids. So I'm gonna do a little shimmying around and kind of show you guys how I would add into the braids. We want it sewed into the bottom corner. So that way, the bottom corner. This one, I think I want to move down just a little. Now usually when I do yarn, I sew it afterwards, so it's kind of different when I do it like this, but I know that yarn's probably going to slip through the sewing threads, whereas this isn't. So what I want to do is I want it to be sewed in here, and then I want to fold back into the body because we're going to have a hole right here. So we're going to fold it down, fold it in, we're going to sew right here. So where I'm going to sew is going to be from right here all the way around. So now, pull this out. So like that. Then I'm going to fold this on top. And what I'm going to do is carefully flip it. There we go. And this, I'm going to match up my pattern. Match it up right there. And usually I'd pin right there, but it's too tight. So what I'm going to do is pin the sides. And I'm going to pin through the paper. And on the other side. Okay. Now when I go to sew, I'm going to make sure that I start right in there. So I can feel it right here, and I want to make sure there's a little bit of space right there. I can always come back when I do my second set of stitches and start it closer too, so it's fine, but I just want to make sure I at least grab them. Then I also want to be aware where my other pin is, so that doesn't get caught. One. It's a little messy, so I'm actually going to have to take it out. Just a little. I'm going to do a second set of stitches. But now I'm going to bring it in just enough on that side. Just enough on this side too. And then I'm going to sew just like how I did on the bottom. But when I do that, I want to make sure these are pulled to the side. Pulled to the side. So I think that's good. And then the last thing that I want to do is I want to zigzag stitch right here and zigzag stitch right here. So to make sure those don't fall out. Okay, so now I'm officially done with the sewing machine. That's as simple as it gets. Okay, so now we're gonna cut and do the same exact thing for the head as we did for the body. And then we're going to sew them together. So we're going to cut around. So we're gonna fill, and then we're gonna put her on there. I think she's gonna like you. We'll see. So a little at a time, especially for smaller items. Okay, and then remember, the more you stuff, the more shape you can give it. So I really, really like to overstuff my items, not too much compared to like some that I know, but I do like to stuff them a lot. And make sure you get back in those little crevices right here on the sides. Do a little bit more on this little side here. Specifically. Okay, and then I'm going to sew it close. So I'm going to bring a little bit more. I guess that's it. I should have made the bottom a little bit bigger, but I think that'll be fine. Okay, and then once again, we're going to start in the corner. I like to start in this way and then go around 3 times. So. So now I have the body, and then I got the head. So now I need to figure out how to sew these together. So somehow I'm going to sandwich them together like so. So I still have the thread on here, which might not be enough, but we're gonna give it a try. So what I'm gonna do, this is probably gonna be the hardest part. I'm gonna hold this, and then I'm gonna try to just kind of zigzag stitch. At this point, I still need a lot more thread because I don't even have the front sewed down. So at this point, I'm just going to tie off this thread. So start back over.
So we have 85 and then have 1090,000 hundred.
I think I like that. That I think is perfect. Either way, her head ain't coming off. Like, Typically I'd go 3 times around, but yeah, her head's not coming off. I already went 3 times around in the back. And there, that's her so far. So I'm going to tie this off in the back and then figure out her face. Now the rest is going to be how you decide what to do with the face. Typically, if I was going to sew this face, I'd probably hand stitch the face before I put it together, so I'll probably put like a little disclaimer. And then I'm going to paint the face, and then even the binky, I would put the binky on before I sewed it, just to hide any of my strings, even though I could probably hide the knot back there somewhere, so it'll be fine. So now I'm going to do her little braids. Okay, so this is the last process where I'm just kind of figuring out the details. I am going to do her face, but I'm also looking at maybe to add some leaves. I have some wool blend felt that I picked out to roll maybe for the top of her head as like the stem. Something like this, and then just some green linen scraps to twist, and I think that's how I'm going to sew that on there. So I'm going to sew this on here and then show you guys how I do the face, and then that'll be it. Okay, so now it's a couple days later and I am going to be painting the face. So you could sew the face, you could paint the face. I mean, you could do whatever you'd like. I typically paint faces now, and to give the face how I'd like, I actually use a pencil. I found that the washable inks, they just don't completely wash away all the way, and I don't like that. Sometimes I still see like a blue marking, and so I just use this paintbrush.
Lily.
I'm gonna do my best to attempt to paint this. So that concludes this episode of the sewing tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was something fun and creative and inspirational for the season, and I would love to see whatever you make. And so if you would tag me over on Instagram, that is where you will find my main page for my shop. It's MamaBearSewShop, and here's my handle. I would love to see those. So if you would tag me in those photos, that'd be fantastic. As well, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please let me know down below in the comments, as well as what you would like to see in the future. I have lots of great ideas, especially for the seasons coming up, that I would love to share with you guys, but I would love to also hear from you guys. So let me know if you enjoyed this, if it was easy, if it was hard, what your thoughts are, as well as I would really deeply enjoyed it if you would subscribe and like, and then find out when I will be posting my next videos. So I will let you guys know that on Instagram, as well as if you subscribe and hit the bell, you will be notified of when my next video is. All right, until next time, happy sewing. So, no. I'm doing a video, sweetie.
Mom, look.
You don't eat them plain like that though, sweetie.
Well, they do have a taste.
No, it's gonna, they don't taste like that. You don't eat them like that. Promise you.
They seem fun, just they don't have strawberries in them.
Sweetie, they're not cooked.
No, it tastes the same. Nothing. Just dry oatmeal.
Yeah. Why would you want to eat dry oatmeal?
Because I don't know.
You're gonna make that move, sweetie. You're making it move. You're making the camera move, sweetie. What you need? William.
Hi.
What you need, bud?
I was trying to say. Hi.
Yeah. So I hope you guys liked it, and cheers to your pumpkin spice. I don't know what else to say. What else do I say?
You talk to the people.
I do. Okay, you can be in it right now.
Oh, for what?
Whatever you want. You can come over here.
Yes.
I'm just gonna sit there.
Yeah.
You gonna wave? Wave. It's gonna be in our out clip when we say bye.